Hi, this is Anil from Learning Lad with a video tutorial on C++ programming. So in this tutorial we're going to learn about the IO streams which are used to work with the files in C++. So in the previous tutorials, we have learned about what are the IO streams and what is the use of them. So here in this tutorial we're going to learn particularly about the IO streams which are going to work with the files. Alright, let's get started. So first of all, what is a file? A file is a container for storing the information. So whatever the operating system you use, files are the fundamental or the basic part of that operating system. And in C++ we have three classes available which are going to work on the files. ifstream or input file stream, which is used to read from the file. Then ofstream or output file stream, which is used to write to the file. And then fstream, which allows us to both read and write to the file. And we have the fstream header files available, where the ifstream, ofstream and fstream classes are defined. Alright. So in your program you are only reading from a file. At that time you guys can use the ifstream class, and if you are only writing to a file, at that time you guys can use the ofstream class. And if you want to perform both read and write operation on a file, at that time you guys can use the fstream class. So no matter what operation you want to perform on the file, you need to include the fstream header file, where the ifstream, ofstream and the fstream classes are defined. So it's gonna be #include fstream. Alright, the next thing is how to open up a file. Since the streams are associated with the files, we can perform the operations on files just like the way we were performing it on the input and output streams. So here, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna create an object of this class fstream. So it's gonna be fstream, and then just give a name, and let's say file. Alright, now when we create an object of this fstream class, this object is not associated with any files. So the next thing that we can do is we can associate this object with a file. To do that, we have a method which is defined in this fstream class, which is called open. So it's going to be the object name, which is file, and then dot operator, and then open. And here we need to pass the file name and the mode of operation. And here we have different version of this open method is available. So we can pass only the file name, or we can pass the file name and the file opening modes. So here what we can do is we can pass the file name. So let's say anil.txt, a text file. Alright, when this statement is encountered, file called anil.txt will be created, where we have saved our program, this program, and that file will be opened in both read and write mode. So the next thing is about the file opening modes. So we have the options of opening the file in the read mode, and these file opening modes are defined in the iOS base class, iOS base. And we can also access this file opening modes by using the iOS class also, because this iOS class derives from this iOS base class. Alright, so the first option that is available to us is the in, or opening the file in the read mode. So we can access this from this iOS or iOS base class, it doesn't matter. When we open the file in the in mode, we can read from that file. And here, if you were using a ifstream class object, and if you're opening the file without passing any parameter, just like the way I have done here, if this file was an object of this ifstream, and then by default the C++ is going to open the file in the in mode. Alright, the next option that is available to us is the out. When we open the file in out mode, we can write to the file. And another option that is available to us is called trunk. So normally we use this trunk option along with this out mode. So when we open the file in the out mode and trunk it, if any file with the same name exists in that folder, the contents of that file will be removed, and we have a brand new fresh file available to work. And if we are using ofstream class here, and if we are opening the file without passing any file mode here, at that time the file will be opened in the out mode and the trunk mode, both this out and trunk mode. So if you want to combine two or more file opening modes, what you can do is you can use the OR operator, which I'm going to teach you. So here in this case we have used an object of the class ifstream, which allows us to both read and write to the file. That's why when we open this file, and if we don't pass any parameter, any file opening modes, at that time by default the C++ is gonna open the file in the in mode and the out mode, which allows us to both read and write to the file. And the next option that is available is called app or append. So when we open the file in the append mode, if any file is present with the same name, the contents of that file will not be lost. Whatever we're gonna write to that file will be appended to that file at the end. And also this mode F can be used with the files which are opened in the out mode, the files that are open to write. Alright, the next option that is available to us is called ATE or seek, which causes a seek to the end of the file to occur when the file is opened. And then we have the option called binary, which is used to specify to the C++ that we are working with a binary file, which we're gonna learn in the upcoming tutorials. All right, so this is about the file opening modes in C++. All right, so here if you wanted to specify the file opening modes, then you guys need to add a comma, then iOS base or iOS class. I'm going to use iOS because it just reduces some typing time. Then the scope resolution operator, and then less a in, and then or iOS out. By default the C++ is gonna add these two file opening modes, because we are using an object of this ifstream class here. And the next thing is we can check whether the file we have specified here has opened successfully or not by using a method called isOpen. And here I'm going to use the if statement, and it's going to be file dot isOpen. It returns true if that file has opened successfully, else it returns false. Here I'm going to use a not operator. It means that the file has not opened successfully, and we're just gonna print out that, and we're gonna say error while opening the file. Alright, next, if the file has opened successfully, then we can read or write to the file here. So it's gonna be read or write. And then after doing all the things, we need to close the file, and we can close that file by using the close method. And that's it. Now I'm gonna save this, and here in the else part we're just gonna say file opened successfully. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it here, and we're just gonna say file opened successfully. Alright, now I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna build and run this program, and it says error while opening the file. And if I open up the folder where we have this project, and okay, there's no file. That's because file open handle.txt in out. Alright, that's because here in the folder where our program is there is no file called handle.txt. And if you want to create a file, if a file is not present, then you guys need to use another option, which is trunk. So if you don't use this, then if the file is present, then only the file will be opened. Otherwise, it returns error while opening the file, just like the way it returned now. So when we specify this trunk file opening mode, if that file is not present, then a file will be created, and if a file is present, then the contents of that file will be removed. So just remember this, if a file is not present in the folder, at that time if we are using ifstream, then you guys need to specify iOS trunk file opening mode. Otherwise a new file will not be created. And the next thing is, here if you want to pass any path, you guys can pass that, where you want to create the file. So now I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna build and run this program, and now file opened successfully. And now I'm gonna open up the folder, and here you guys can see Anil and text document, and I know it's an empty file, 0 bytes. And if I open up that, you guys can see nothing is there. And now I just gonna edit here, in that text editor, and let's say some text here. Okay, now I'm gonna save this, save, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna run it again. And now file opened successfully, and if I open up that file, all the contents of that file that we have stored is lost. We get a brand new file to work with. Alright, so a file is a container to store the information, and to work with files we're going to use the ifstream or input file stream, output file stream, and fstream classes in C++. And we can open up a file or associate a file with a stream using the open method, and we can check whether the file has opened successfully or not using the isOpen method, and also we can close the file using the close method. And the next thing that I want you guys to teach you is, here, instead of this isOpen method, we can only use if not file. This one also works. Just gonna build and run this, and it says file opened successfully. Alright, this is it guys. This is about the introduction to the files in C++. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.